Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Kirsty. This is the Grianaig Creations podcast channel, and this is going to be episode 81. I am coming to you from Paisley in Scotland, or quite close to Glasgow if that helps. This podcast is going to be ever so slightly different in the sense that I'm going to show you my crafting book that I have been storing my works in progress in, my finished objects from the whole of last year. So I thought this would be really interesting to go over, as some of you did want to see what I've been putting in this. So this is essentially what this podcast is going to be. So I'm not going to actually be showing off any objects per se, but I am going to be showing you what I have done in 2021. So I hope you enjoy. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, and there will be plenty more content in the weeks to come. Enjoy! Okay, hello everybody. So apologies for some of the shadows that are showing on the table. I've lost a lot of the natural daylight outside. So I've got a bit of an external light source coming in to help. But yeah, this is going to be a video showing off my craft book that I have been recording nearly all of my projects that I done in 2021. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to stand up and do this. It's easier. Okay, so this is my first page, and it's really only got one project on it that is not finished, and this is the Marled Magic Sweater. I cast this on the 1st of January 2021, and it's still going, hence why the page is relatively empty. And then I've just got a couple of things down here. So this is Boxy, covered in yarn. This is when we originally moved into the flat. We didn't have much furniture. And yeah, just a couple of interesting wee stickers and stuff that I've added in. And you'll see that a lot throughout the notebook. Okay, so some of the pages have a lot more information on them. Some of them have like a lot more stuff, like this one's got samples of the yarn that I've used. There is still things missing from some of the pages, like as we get progressively further in the year, there isn't as many photographs because I ran out of this printer paper, and it's not the cheapest, but it's certainly not the most expensive. But this year has been last year was quite tight for finances, and so buying printer paper was not at the top of my priority. So you'll see some different things. You'll see more information, less information, more additional extras like the yarn, more stickers, less stickers. So these ones are socks that I made for my best friend. I made her 2 pairs of rainbow socks, the exact same yarn, but one with grey and then one with black. I done slip stitch heels for both of them, and so this is the Knit Picks Felici rainbow yarn, that's the black, and then that's the grey. And then on this side is some more socks. These were done from that one, and that one were sock tubes. I'm not sure if that one was a sock tube or not. And they were from my mum. And these were from Tracy, the girl I work with. So lots of socks at the start of the year. And then I have to admit, the Mount Pleasant Tea by Pip and Pin was probably my most favourite project that I done in 2021. I love that top to pieces. It makes me feel really good when I wear it. It was an absolute delight to knit, and I knit that in Ladybug yarns in the La Katrina colourway. I cast it on the 19th of January and I cast it off on the 24th of February. So I feel that was quite a quick knit. And then over here we've got all the, well, I say all the, but there was actually 3, but there was some blankets I made for my goddaughters. So these 2 were made for my youngest goddaughter Erin. So I've got one that I've knit from the centre out, and then I've got a corner to corner knitted one. And that's her right there. That's my wee angel, or one of my 2 wee angels. So this one's particularly blank, as you can see. You can also see the shadows really badly. Let's move that cup of tea out of the way. So I don't have a cast, oh no, I do have a cast off date. Kind of, I have a rough cast off date. So this one's missing a ball band from the yellow colour I used, and I've only put in a sample of the Windy Air. So this is the As If Tea, which I cast on the 25th of March. I haven't put the name of the designer down, I'll need to go back and add that in. And I've put a wee note here that I've done size 5. So there's still some information I need to add in on this one. And I'll get the other ball band and a sample of the yarn for that. And then this is the Neat Ripple Blanket by Attic 24. And this is still a whip, so it's still quite empty. Okay, and so these ones are like some smaller things I've done. So I've done a Berry Trails headband, which is a drops pattern. And then I've done quite a few different washcloths. So I've done the knitted round dishcloth, the starfish dishcloth, and then I think it's also just Granny's favourite dishcloth. And I've got a series of different cast on and cast off dates. Okay, and then moving on to this page, I've got the Colour Block Boxy Tee, which is a test knit that I done for Tiny Tail Handcrafted, which is Vicky on Instagram. And I tested the 48-inch size, and I've also knit this in yarn that I had dyed quite a while ago. I'm hoping that on the bigger screen you're going to be able to see like more detail. So I knit this in, I had 4 balls of the yarn. I'm not actually sure how much yarn I had left over, but I knit this in a whopping 10 days. I couldn't believe it. It was such an enjoyable knit, and it's just a delight. Like if I was to knit it again, which I probably will, I would change it from a tee to a full-on jumper. Just so that I've got more to cover my arms. Or I would do the tee, but I would do it cropped instead of full length. I knit it longer than the pattern. I think in the pattern it is meant to be cropped, but with Vicky's permission I knit it longer. And we've got more socks, believe it or not. This is another test knit that I done in 2021. This is the Ankle Biter Socks by Ladybug Lily. And I knit 2 pairs of these for myself, and I really, really love these socks. So these are ankle socks, if you can't tell by the name, Ankle Biter. And I knit these in 2 different yarns. I knit one which was scraps or leftovers that were sent to me by my friend Ellen, and then the other one, which is up here, I think that was opal yarns. And really enjoyable knit. A little bit confusing at first when you kind of try to do the heel, but in all they're actually amazingly fitting socks. And then this page over here is pretty much dedicated to Maddie Harvey, because I took the knitted necklace workshop that she was doing on the 9th of May, where I made quickly runs off camera to grab it, where I made this necklace. And I really, really love this necklace. So that is that top item over there. And then down here was the Maddie Harvey Mystery Cow, which is the Trig Point shawl. This took me a lot longer than it should have to complete. I started maybe a day or two after the Mystery Cow started, and then I finished months after it finished. So where it says there started and finished on the 9th, that is for the necklace and not for the shawl. Oh, and the yarns for this one is from Mrs. Lamb's Yarns, which is Calic Chic Ellen. And those are 2 samples of the yarn that I used. So I used a semi-solid or a tonal, and then I used a variegated as well. Okay, a lot of information on this one. Gonna kind of cover that up for now because I really want to try and get this pattern out. This is the granny stripe top. It's my crochet top that I've got on my mannequin sometimes when I'm recording. I loved that project and I can't wait to make more ones that are longer sleeves, that kind of thing, like different variations. And then I've also done a Honeybee Amigurumi, a pattern I kind of also made up by myself. I made 2, so I made one for my dad, and then because I hadn't written the pattern up when I was making his, I decided to make it up again and write the pattern down as I went along that time. So I have one and he has one. Okay, so we've got the Miette cardigan, which is an Andy Satterlin pattern. I think it now goes by a different name and is more size inclusive. The Miette was a free pattern, whereas the updated one that is more size inclusive is not a free pattern anymore. I'm just taking a drink of tea. So I cast this one on the 17th of June and I cast it off on the 21st of June. I have noted here saying not size inclusive, but again, just to reiterate, it has since been updated and it now is a lot more size inclusive. So I knit the biggest size, and I've left a note saying I added 10 stitches under the arm when splitting for the sleeves, and that is the only reason that that garment fits me, is because I added extra stitches. Because the design is only on, is only down the button band and along the bottom. So as long as you've got you add enough stitches to add that pattern in, you're fine. And then on here is a sock design I done, and that was with yarn from Trelise, and I've not released that pattern yet. More socks. Socks. I knit a lot of socks last year that were not for myself. That being said, these 2 were for me. This picture here, that pair of socks was frogged. I hated that project so bad. And yeah, these top 2 were for Kirsty. And I don't know, I've just not put any information because it's either vanilla socks or I've just kind of winged it. So with this one, it's just essentially like, I think maybe like 2x1 ribbing, 3x1 ribbing or something. So yeah, there's not a lot of information on this one for any of these socks. And then moving on, oh, I've not written a cast off date for my love note. So I decided to knit a second love note and I used yarn that is from Yarn to Cone, and I doubled that up to make it kind of DK weight. And that is a Tin Can Knits pattern, and this is my second one, and I would definitely probably make a lot more in a lot of different colours and variations. Like this one has short sleeves, whereas my first one I done long sleeves. I don't think I'd ever put mohair back into it because I actually find mohair rather itchy. Unpopular opinion, but there we go. And believe it or not, more socks. Would you look at that? So, I think all of those socks are for me on that page. I need to get an updated picture of that one. Those are finished. But yeah, I think all of these were for me. But again, no information because they're all kind of like vanilla socks. Just my usual go-to 2.25mm needle, 64 stitches, yada yada. This one, not a lot of information on this one. Probably because I'm scarred for life for that project. That is the commission blanket that I done for my old work colleague that I still have in the house because we haven't managed to meet up to give him it. So, moving on from that one. And this is where it starts getting very sparse with information because I ran out of photo paper and I think I kind of ran out of steam. So this is the shawl design I was doing that is now been named the Kelvin Hall Shawl. The ball band for the grey is actually on another page because I forgot I had this page for this. And then I've got my mini pumpkin and then I have a space for my large pumpkin, but again, no photo. I made this really fun page for the Halloween sock along. Can't really see the writing because of the light and the fact it's like neon orange pen, but this is nearly, again I need to put in some samples of the yarn and more photos. So this is, I've only got photos of the hand dyed socks, hand spun socks that I've done. I've then got the Hey J Yarns Pumpkin King, and then I've got a wee note for the Elphabuzz knickers from Fiberpunk. So I've still got photos to add in for a lot of these projects closer to the end. And then you can see over here we've got the ranunculus sweater, which I'm knitting out of West Yorkshire Spinners exquisite lace in an absolutely gorgeous colour, might I add. Like really, really gorgeous colour. But yeah, I'm hoping to add a lot more in as I get a wee bit more freedom to buy more printer paper. So this is the page I was talking about with the Kelvin Hall shawl. So this was the ball band for the grey one that I done. This is the ball band for the third rendition that I've done, which was in Pixel Atlantis. So yeah, kinda forgot that I had literally 2 pages before that a whole section for the Kelvin Hall shawl. Oh well. You kinda live and let live, don't you? So over on this side we've got the Golden Race Cowl by Ramsay Baggins, or Pip, aka Rowan. And then we also have Scott's Pizza Blanket. And then I have 3 more. Well, 4 more if you count this one. So this is 2 times February hat. I made one as per the pattern, and then I made another one with some added stitches for a bigger size. Hail Hydra mitts for Scott's Christmas present, and then I cast on the Coziest Memories blankets on the 25th of December, so I've added that in as well. But because this is going to be an ongoing one, I've decided to make a little note per month, like how many squares I can get done in that month, or how many, not how many I can, but how many I did do in that month. So currently no information because I only put that in yesterday. But I have also decided to add in 2022's projects. And I've got my little red pandas that are knitting. I love those stickers. I've got artwork for it. Little red panda in a yarn bucket. But yeah, because I've still got so many pages in this book, I thought there's no point wasting the space or wasting paper. I can just add in another year. And then what I plan to do is put a tag on the outside saying 2021 and 2022, and then store this once the year's over. And then from there on, any future years, I'll do the same. I'll put like a tag saying 2023, 2024, so on and so forth. So yeah, that is my craft book. I will still continue to use this as I progress. I do have one project to add in for this year, which is the blanket I'm making for one of the girls in my work. So that will be the first project put in it for 2022. But yeah, I've got a lot to go back and add in. I want to get photos printed off like ASAP so that I can add, like, kind of move on from the 2021 section. And I also really want to get some of those projects that are being carried over, i.e. this one right here. I would love to get those closed out as soon as, and then keep making steps forward. So yeah, it's been a good crafting year. I'm really, really glad that I started this again, and I pretty much stuck to it. There's a couple of projects that I haven't added in, probably like a pair of socks or two or something, but I've always remembered to put in my biggest projects, which I'm really, really pleased about. So here's to keeping it up for 2022. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has maybe inspired some of you to start your own wee craft book. Craft scrapbook. And if you do, comment down below, or if you already do as well, like, what do you keep yours in? Do you add stickers or washi tape or whatever, or is yours just quite a simple notepad with project name and yarn or whatever? I'd love to know what other people do to keep track of their projects. So until next time, bye.